Today's software development teams are expected to deliver quality code faster than ever before. When teams are agile and combine software development with operations, we call it DevOps. But DevOps is not easy. Actually, it's really hard. It requires systems to build the applications, systems to manage and maintain the code, systems to file bugs, a cloud to run it in, systems to coordinate the servers that the apps run on, and systems to allow the teams to track down problems. Releasing quality code while it's still running is very complicated. It takes really good team cooperation and communication so everybody's on the same page. And it has to happen in a particular order so it all comes off without a hitch. With teamwork tools like Slack, teams finally have a place to coordinate the complexity of doing DevOps in one place, which is great. For the sequences, though, teams have traditionally written custom scripts that automate the order of operations required for the DevOps activities. That custom code doesn't integrate with Slack, and it can easily break. It's also hard to maintain across so many systems. DevOps shouldn't be this hard. It should work in the same places that teams do. It shouldn't need so much custom scripting and should cause way less frustration. That's why we made Dronze. DevOps just shouldn't be this hard. Dronze is the intelligent DevOps team chatbot that automates what you do with simple conversations. It uses natural language and common DevOps concepts to talk with you in Slack. It gets notified of what's going on in your DevOps environment. It can do things on your behalf. Most important, it learns how to help you automate the repetitive things you do every day. So how do we make this team's life better and simplify things? First, let's remove the scripting. It's a giant time suck. Next, instead of having the team be the hub, let's put our helper there so it can talk to us and do stuff for us and tell us what's happening. Now let's think of the systems as being either doers that we want to control or event generators that send us notifications. Now, as we ask Dronze to do stuff and it gets notified, it can learn the order that things happen in. We believe our helper should try to automate just by listening to what you do. As you ask Dronze to do simple tasks like building artifacts or deploying them, it asks you if what it did was good. By giving simple reinforcement, you teach Dronze that things that you are doing are part of a sequence. The next time it sees that you're repeating common steps, it tries to automate it based on what it's learned. Sometimes the helper needs some negative reinforcement, but soon enough, it's learned exactly how things should be done. This is automation without scripting, and it's extremely sticky because it allows teams to teach the chatbot collectively and invest emotionally in solving their unique problems without any custom scripting. So how would people use Dronze to solve real DevOps problems? One of the most basic problems that DevOps pros deal with is managing software releases. In our example, Clay Tantor has a feature that he wants to release, and Caleb, his teammate, needs to review the code and approve it for a release. What we want is for Dronze to do just about everything else. That includes managing the build, sharing results of quality checks in Slack, merging the code, and finally releasing it to production on our behalf once everybody's signed off. We can think of this process as a list of conversations, doer activities, and notifications with owners. So if we were going to look at this in Slack, we'd see Clay actually committing and pushing a feature branch, and then asking DronzeBot to start a PRA against that feature branch on the specific repo. Because DronzeBot understands what a PRA is and has learned from previous activities, it asks if we'd like to actually do a release. And that's part of this automated learning. Because we've always done a release before whenever we did a PRA process, and it knows that we probably want to do a release now. So we approve that we want to start that workflow, and we say who we want to be as part of the approvers. In this case, Caleb and Sam are going to be approvers. Because we're in a teamware environment, Dronze can actually leverage all of the team members, and by mentioning them, now those team members have awareness that they're part of this process and can contribute into it. Dronze then automates the build against the PR and releases it into a dev environment, which is just an ephemeral environment where the software can be fully tested and there can be integration tests, but it's waiting for approval. This is part of that workflow process that it's learned is necessary for us to do a release. Once Caleb has approved it, and all he had to do was approve here in Slack, and DroneSbot picked up on that, now knows to actually merge the code, do the orchestration necessary to build out a stack, create an auto-scaling group, bleed traffic out of the old system and into the new, and do smoke tests. And we have just done a release directly in Slack. So to wrap it up, we think drones is the next generation in how people will use intelligent agents to help DevOps teams perform better. It's team-oriented and interacts with simple conversations. It's more capable because it can do things and be notified by your entire DevOps ecosystem. Finally, it learns from you to automate the activities you do every day. Thanks, and we hope your DevOps team tries drones during our beta coming very soon.